Hey, everybody, and welcome on out to another edition of the Living Deadwax podcast. I am your host for tonight's extravaganza. I am Ty, joined by my always co-host, Tyler. Tyler, how are you tonight? Also, you're the one who chose the topic, so if you want to introduce tonight's topic, and we'll get this ball rolling.
Sweet. I'm doing great, brother. It's my topic, like I said. So, as per usual, it's the best topics. And the topic I chose tonight was pretty similar to the topic we already had, and I didn't think about that when I did the math and I announced this topic, but it's fine. I still made it work. So I did vinyl regrets. So things that you didn't buy or things you sold at some point. Things you regret, obviously not buying or selling, all that stuff. So there's that.
Gotcha. Do you have any regrets of things that you bought that you regret buying?
I
didn't think of it that way, but
I did not think about it that way either. I'm sure I have a lot of records that I wouldn't call them regrets because I don't want to get rid of them. Yeah. But it's a lot of records. I'm just like, why the fuck do I have this? Like, why did I spend this money? Like, why was this a thing? And nothing egregious. Like all of my big purchases, like I don't want to get rid of. Like my Beatles mono box, that's the biggest purchase probably I ever made. And it's on a single item. I don't regret it. I don't play those nearly ever, honestly. I play other copies and stuff, but I crack into it maybe once a year. Otherwise, just sits on my shelf. But for in that particular example, it's not really a regret either because that's like $2,000 now. So it's like it all worked out at the end of the day. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of records that I guess I have regrets about, sort of, but I don't want to get rid of them. It's not to that level at this point. Do you have shit that you bought that you don't?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm like, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, this episode, but yeah, I'm fairly getting back into the game the last, 2 years, 3 years. So yeah, not yet. I'm sure there will be stuff as the collection grows back up again. But yeah, guys, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So a little bit more physical media based here. So if you're into vinyl, if you're into music content, album rankings, we just did a Van Halen ranking, which is really fun, doing pretty well for us on YouTube, which we appreciate. Check that out. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment down below, all of that good stuff. Let us know your vinyl regrets. What do you regret selling, not buying? What do you regret buying? Something that sucks, something that was a waste of money or was too expensive and then immediately died in price.
God.
Who knows?
Oh, you just have one of those. Too.
Sort of. It's not super dead. Like it's like $40. Yeah. We can kind of talk about that too. But yeah, guys, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here. So Tyler, like I said, like I told you earlier, I didn't really pull anything for this because a lot of this stuff, obviously, I don't have. Everything I chose, it was either like I sold this off or I didn't buy. There are some things that I've rebought that I technically could have pulled, a couple things for 2 examples, but either ways, you chose the topic. You usually kick us off, so why break precedent? Go ahead, kick us off with your first regret.
Okay. If you want to pull these on Discogs, I have prices that I went and looked at for a lot of these. But if you want to pull,
for our lovely listeners certainly here. Can.
So the one that I'm going to kick it off with is one that just actually happened a month and a half, 2 months ago, and whatever.
Okay,
it's fine. So this I did not purchase this. I wish I did. Me and Ty went to Zia here in town about 2 months ago, and it is the. Oh, you got it? Okay. It is the Led Zeppelin box set. It's the one that came out in 90. It's the one that looks like Yay.
Yeah. I'll pull it up here. I'll try to find it.
Yeah. So
what's that thing officially called? No, I found it. Never mind.
Led Zeppelin box set. That's all it is.
I found it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen that box. The box is the same. But...
Yeah, but go ahead. Sorry.
I was the box is the same for CDs, tapes, and LPs. So I've seen the tape and the CD box a trillion times, and every time I see it, to this day, every time I see it, I will pull it, I will look at it, and I will make sure it says CD on it, and I'll keep walking because I don't care that much about the CD box set. Yeah. But Ty and I 2 months ago went to Zia, walked in, and we found a sealed copy of the box set, and the price they wanted was $250, I believe it was, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Yeah.
So, yep, $250
Yeah.
sealed. We drove
Yeah.
away. I said no. We drove away, and we were looking at Discogs and sold, and they for sealed boxes they were going for 500 plus.
Yeah. Let's
So
take a look now. Because some of these prices are pretty good as far as open, at least listed here. Let's see, United States, 225. Man, it's open. Box is still in good shape. Box isn't in great shape.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find a sealed one on here. Sealed with hype sticker, 500. I think this is probably the same listing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 569. You can even go to the European version as well, UK, Europe. Let's see that one. If there's any sealed ones. Includes booklet, disc one sleeve with booklet, great copy. All media are clean, looks unplayed. Doesn't look many sealed ones, maybe. Never played before.
Not sealed. Yeah, they're rocking 700 for a non-sealed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool sighting because, like you said, we see the CD box that you see. It's a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
But that was the only time I've ever even seen the LP box. I don't think I knew it existed.
Yeah, because we never seen it, right? So that was the only time I ever saw it. And I regret not buying it. I could have just put it on a credit card and been fine with it at that point. But $250 is a deal for sealed with hype sticker, which is what it was. It had a little slash on the back. It looks like that maybe somebody pulled off one of the magnetic strips or something or other. Somebody pulled that off. But everything else was sealed. And $250 for that sealed box, man. Like that's next level pricing for what it goes for. So yeah, I did not purchase that. That makes me angry.
It's funny because I went back like by myself, like whatever, like a couple weeks later, and it was gone.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, be funny to buy this, and then I just like keep it for a little bit and like act like I was gonna keep it because I don't care about it. I just end up giving it to you anyway. But it'd be funny, like to kayfabe you, like I bought it. Look what I bought. Look what I bought, bro. I'm a big Zeppelin mark now.
yeah. No, for sure. Like that'd be insane, man. I don't know. I don't know. I regret that so much. Like I do. Like I think about that every time. I also when I was researching this, it's a lot of money. But I was researching this and I was like, because the mothership box just got repressed. So that's a box I don't have. So I've been meaning to buy that, and I was like, while I was doing this research, I was like, did I already fucking miss the boat on this again? Like, what the fuck? And I looked, it's still out there. You can still buy it for $80 or so. And I'm like, I need to buy that. I just need to do it at this point. It's not a big deal. But I just haven't done it. Yeah.
Does the old set have more tracks than the mothership set?
Ooh, that's a good question, sir.
Because I'd be curious, like, see what you be. Obviously, it's cooler to have the older one, but if like you're getting the same songs, like I just buy the mothership and then call it good, you know.
All right, so we're looking at this one. Is there's no? I'm sure there is somewhere, but so it's on 6 LPs. It's total of 4 hours and 49 minutes. So let me see here. 4 hours 49 minutes, and mothership is an 136. So what's 136? That's 3 hours.
136 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like 2 hours and 16 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
So there's a lot more on that box set then.
There's a lot more on the box set. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, there's 4 LP. Yeah, the mothership's only 4 LPs, I believe. So
gotcha.
A little bit different. But yeah, so just saying 90 vinyl, obviously, as well. And also it's just Zeppelin, so that's a whole another fucking or 3 LP. It's 3 LP. Shit. So it's 3 LP. I thought, okay.
Mothership. Yeah, so it's a lot less music. It's like half the music then.
Yeah, that's fucking insanity.
That's a good set. That was a really good price.
Yeah. And said no to it. So here we are. Love it. And we're not going to run into that ever again, probably. So, which is what, like, I mean, we do this dance every time we ever go anywhere.
Yeah,
because
somebody
we
already
try not
bought
to
it.
spend. Yeah, somebody already bought it. Yeah, but we do this dance every time we go anywhere, especially for things that are money, because it's like, especially for me, I'm not really buying a lot of stuff anymore. So it's only stuff, if I'm spending money, it's only stuff I'm never going to find again. And
Yeah,
you're much
that's
the
it.
same with those chicks. It's like, I'm not going to buy this unless, like, if I can find this anywhere at any point in time or find it online or whatever, I'll do that. But for
Mhm.
certain things, you're not, the odds of you finding this exact thing again, very slim. You got to just bite the bullet, unfortunately. And that's what we didn't, I didn't do then. And obviously you didn't either. So it is what it is.
I'll make you even feel even shittier. So you have all that
Hey, love
shit to
it.
turn. You have all that shit to turn in.
Oh, yeah. I
So
could have
and you've
ate into
had
it a
that
little
for
bit.
months. So you could
Oh,
have
yeah.
turned that in. Maybe you would have got $100 credit.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows?
Buck
Even
50.
$50.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe buck
Oh,
50. Maybe you would have paid $50 for it.
yeah, no, I was saying if I got 100 for it, I'd pay $1.50 for the box set. That's
Oh yeah.
insanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, definitely a good
Oh,
choice. Yeah, that's a recent one
first thing I
too.
thought about too. Yeah.
And yeah, definitely somebody did buy because sometimes they will move stuff store to store, like if it's not
Yeah.
selling and that stuff. I looked when we went to the other stores, and it still has not shown up again. So it
Yeah.
gone.
Oh yeah.
All right. So my first one we did talk about. We did a records that need to be repressed. So check that out if you want to hear more extended conversation on some of this stuff. So I started collecting. I don't know. I don't know what, like 2008, 2009, I think. And then I got out of it like 2017. That's when I sold everything off. I was just kind of wasn't having fun with it. That's when the vinyl, it's funny because now vinyl's even bigger now, but I was like, this is the peak of it. Like it's not as fun collecting. Everybody's fucking doing it. Like you go to the record store, you're elbowing fucking 12-year-old girls and shit. It's just like everything's getting overpriced, which is funny. I say that. But it was back then too. So
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I was just dissuaded, I guess, with the hobby. And then we were moving. So I needed some cash to pay a couple things off. And I'm very happy because it all led to buying a house, and it helped. It helped. I'm not saying I couldn't have done that if I didn't sell the collection, but I'm saying it definitely helped
Yeah.
things along. So I had a decent sized collection, sold everything off, had quite a bit of cool shit. And especially collecting from like 2008 to like 2015. Like those are obviously it was way better in the 90s and shit too, but like that was for our collecting. That's their prime years because you could
Absolutely.
find a lot of shit. You usually found it cheap, especially compared to now, and there wasn't as much competition. So it was
For sure.
great. Um, so sold everything off. So that was obviously I don't regret the act of it, but I regret selling certain things. And a lot of this collection I've rebought, like my Rush stuff. I've rebought a lot of the Rush that I had, and I even have a bigger and I would say better collection now. But my Rush stuff, I bought all the Rush I needed to buy. And then 2015 hit, they re-released everything, repriced everything, the whole catalog, remastered it, 200-gram vinyl. All of them were QRP too, really primo shit. I bought them all. Like I think I bought them all like every week. I think they dropped them like every
Yep.
few weeks or something. I would just
Remember.
buy them and just buying them, and then it finally got done, and I was so stoked. I was just like, "Fucking Rush is done! Holy shit!" And then sold everything. And I didn't keep any of my Rush, which is my biggest fucking regret because I've rebought everything except all the 90s shit and 2000 shit for the most part
Yeah.
that is out of press. Even the 2015 shit is ridiculously expensive. You're spending, hundreds of dollars to get that 2015 shit. So that is a big regret, just specifically selling off those Rush records, especially that 90s stuff, the stuff that you can't find. So
Yeah. Yeah.
can't find original pressings of that stuff. And some of those didn't exist. The 2015s were the original vinyl pressings. So
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember that. I remember you doing that every week or every 2 weeks or whatever. You'd buy a new one, and I remember like a couple times we ran into like 2 or 3 of them, and you bought them. And then you're like, all right, this is what I got. This is what I got. That's all I'm getting right now. And it would just be like
Yeah.
just chipping away at slowly. And I remember when you finally got the last copy. I forget what the last record was. It wasn't the newest. I forget what I don't know what it was, but I remember you got the last one. You're like, I finally fucking did it. I don't think I was there for it. I think you sent me a picture and you're like, done. Maybe. And I was like, oh fuck, damn it, yeah. And yeah, I don't know, man. We talked about it in the other episode, but it's gonna come back into press. It's all gonna come back at some point. It's just a matter of when, not
Hopefully.
if. Hopefully, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're all just money. They're all $100 plus, $200 something, whatever, and it just sucks. Like you didn't know at that point, like that it would be so much harder to get them later on if and the repress wasn't going to come. Because
in hindsight, I kind of understand because that's not the most desirable eras of Rush.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a different label. It's all the Atlantic stuff. So it's in hindsight, I kind of understand it, but I also don't because there's still money to be made. There's a lot of new collectors. There's a lot of new Rush fans. You know what I'm saying? So like,
there's just completionists that missed the first time.
Yeah, there's money there's money to be made there. So hopefully something gets worked out where they redo them, and then I'll finish all the Rush again. And I will never, if I sell the collection, the Rush will fucking stay. I will not make that mistake again.
For sure.
And the way I look at it is I don't really look at it a regret because the way I look at things and the way we kind of always, and it's kind of how we grew up, is that when you have stuff that's not that I'm ever going to expect to get my value. I don't look at the Discogs number and go, oh, I can retire. Like I'm not that meme, but everything you own is money in the bank.
Yeah.
You've already paid it. You've already invested. Now you might not get the money that you put into it back. Chances are you won't. But if you ever need a lump sum of cash, you got shit in the bank. That's the pleasure of actual ownership and not just buying things digitally or streaming shit. And that's the way my dad always looked at with quads and shit like that. When you paid that off, that's just money in the bank. Once you pay off that loan, you pay off that truck loan, that car loan, that bike loan, whatever. That's money in the bank. Something happens, you sell that shit off, So I don't regret it in that sense. So, but
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I think our ROI, if we were to break it down, I think is better than a lot of folks. Because I don't think we have like. I mean, I'm sure I have a handful of shit that I've lost money on, but the way that vinyl works, man, like, it's definitely gotten made up for. Like anything that lost
I would
money,
think so.
Yeah, like it's gotten made up for, but with other weird shit that we bought for $20.
And usually, if something dips a lot, like in 5 years, usually it's back because, like, especially if it's a popular artist and there's a finite number of it, like it might die immediately, but it's probably eventually going to be worth more than what you paid. Maybe not a ton, but
so, you're not going to lose. Like, so for example, you just bought like the Rush box. Your Rush box is like those fluctuate on Amazon sometimes or whatever, right? But in a few years,
eventually they're not going to be on Amazon.
100%. And then they're going to go back up. And like you said, maybe you're not going to make 6 times what you made, your money or some shit if you needed to sell it, but you would probably not lose money at the very least, which is kind of a comfortable thing. I don't know. It's weird to talk about like in terms of investments, but like it's comfortable to be into vinyl if you know what you're buying and you can do some basic math and you can play the long game for a lot of shit and you're not just trying to look for flips, like easy quick flips. You can almost guarantee a lot of stuff is not going to lose you money. So it is what it is.
Like I say, the majority of the time probably pretty good. Now who knows with the mass production of stuff and a billion fucking copies of Adele and shit like that, that's just not going to appreciate in value, but like certain bands, certain artists, certain genres, they're always going to be niche. They're always going to have their fans, their hardcore fans, shit like that.
Especially, I mean, especially if you do the initial like gimmick box set, like if you buy the straight repress, black repress, whatever, I don't know, that still also can go up. That definitely can, depending on what it is, right? Mm-hmm. But if you buy a gimmick box, if you buy the big fucking super deluxe gimmick box or whatever the fuck, 9 times out of 10 in the future, you will get your money back, then some. Because there are finite, they're not going to keep that in press. They will keep straight black repress coming, every so often. They will definitely keep that going. But if you care about color variants or you care about any of that shit, and you buy that, you're probably going to be okay if you ever needed to sell something off.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to look at it as straight investments, but
no. Well, because it's so volatile though too. Because like you said, like it's you're probably going to stay in press, except the rush, all that rush isn't.
No, you're right.
So like all that shit's shot up. But when they immediately decide to repress that, all those prices are going to come down. They're not going to crater, but those 2015 pressings especially are going to come down quite a bit. So it's kind of a crapshoot, like it is what it is. And don't go into it with like, going to sell this off. That's not what I'm saying. I'm or I want to make money on this. But no matter what, I'll always be able to get something, even if it's $5. Like it's going to be worth something to somebody. And when you have $0, $5 is more than zero.
Out. Yeah.
So
tangible ownership of tangible touch, things you can hold in your hand means something.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what's your next one?
All right. So next one I had here, so you can look this up. So I'm a big Manchester Orchestra fan. I have an entire shrine over here as well. But
wow, you have a regret?
Well, I have something that. So there's a band called the Deer Hunter. They released a box set called The Color Spectrum. They've repressed it twice, but it came out, I think, the first time in 2008, maybe it was. So The Color Spectrum is a 10-inch box set, and it's of a bunch of different colors. And Manchester and Andy, they did the Red EP with Casey from the Deer Hunter. They did that in conjunction with him. So it was a group effort for that EP. And so I think there's 4 or 5 of them in the box, and they each have like a certain kind of sound, certain kind of like, whatever the fuck. So originally when it came out, it was, I believe, like $150 or, and now if you were to click on any one of the pre-pressings, they're going for anywhere from $300 to $500. Even the newest one is
really?
2017. Yeah, so click any of them, whatever. They're going to be.
There's one.
Yep. So
it was 150 originally.
I believe it was 150 originally. It could, honestly, brother, could have been 100. It was not very expensive. So they don't come up very often. So they're at very top. There you go.
Yeah.
So that one, $345. So yeah, so they don't come very much. Damaged box, slightly worn. One sealed
one for $400.
All right, there you go, man. So I regret that because it's one of the only pieces of Manchester like orchestra stuff that I don't really have, and I've been meaning to buy it. And when the 17 came up, I meant to buy that, and I just thought in my stupid fucking brain, I was like, I thought the all that stuff. Here you go. I thought everybody that had it, that wanted it, had it. So I thought it would come down. I thought it wouldn't. I thought it would get a little cheaper over time. It didn't. It sold out immediately, or within a day or so, and everything shot back up to fucking $400 or something or other, right? So super fun.
So is this Deer Hunter band? Like, are they a big band or still?
They're a cult band for sure. Yeah. So the Deer Hunter is a cult band. They have a legion of dedicated fans, and they're a cool band. I've seen them live a few times. They're a cool band. Actually, buddy Dylan has this, and there you go.
So he has this set.
He does have this set. He bought the original pressing of it because this is back in the day when Dylan was living at home. He was in college and living at home and didn't have bills and really things to pay for. So Dylan would buy vinyl gimmick box sets and spend a lot of money on them. He also has the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo box set, which I almost thought of putting on this thing, but I didn't. But Dylan also has that one signed by Trent Atticus and has all the crazy shit in there, and that's also fucking crazy money. So he has this, and but what sucks about Dylan is Dylan didn't really take care of a lot of stuff. So I'm not saying it's fucked up or ruined, but it's not as minty as it fucking should be. So That fucking bums me out that I never fucking purchased that. I should have. They'll put it out again. Like they'll repress it
So
again at some point. It just hasn't happened yet.
so you're like, obviously you'd just be buying this because of the Manchester
For
Andy
sure.
connection.
Yeah.
So you're not
I
like also big into this
No.
band. Okay.
No. Like I've seen Deer is cool. I've seen him
Yeah,
live
that's
a
rough.
few times, met him, fucking shit signed. It's cool stuff, right? It's just nothing. It's not a band that's really like that big of a deal for me. But I would absolutely just be buying it for completionist for Manchester stuff. Is all I would be doing.
Gotcha.
So just kind of like it's a grip of money to drop for just that sole reason.
Yes.
But
yeah.
you know, it is what it is. So $1.25, $1.50, I think is what they were. So,
so why did Dylan buy it? Was Dylan a big fan of that band?
Dylan's
Plus
a Deer Hunter fan,
or
correct? So,
Oh,
so
okay.
Dylan's a fan, but also Dylan had disposable income, so Dylan was a fan enough. So he was like, I don't care, whatever.
But,
like, I
but
like
he also had more of an incentive at the time
correct
than you.
100%,
Yeah.
absolutely 100%. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it meant more to him in the entirety of it than it did to me.
Shit.
So
Yeah.
so Dylan just didn't have a
That's a
reason
good one.
not to buy it for a lot of it. So there's that. So
That's like
one day it'll
that's a
come
good
back
one.
for us. So there we are.
Yeah, make sure you get on it. 'Cause, yeah, I mean the 2 times. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm going to talk about one here that I did talk about last time when we did stuff that needs a repress, but it's a very important record to me. I love this fucking album. So when Zia Camelback opened up, we went to the opening day. It was me, you, and my wife Anna. I remember we went to the opening, and I remember they had a bunch of shit out in the hot new used stuff, like they were saving. I remember flipping through, seeing a couple things. There's a couple other things I'll talk about too. But one of the things I saw was a original pressing, 89 US pressing of Headless Cross. So talked about this. This needs a repress, and apparently it's coming. The Tony Martin shit is apparently coming. Something is coming eventually. And I remember buying this, man. And I want to say it was like less than $20. It wasn't that much. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it was the club edition or just the regular one here, but let's just look at the regular one. So there's 25 for sale. They're starting at 100. So if you don't know anything about this, this is the era of the band. Or Tony was the only guy really in the band. Tony Martin was the lead singer. I absolutely adore most of this era. It's really fucking solid, really fun, heavy riffs, really dark. It's cool. It's kind of like Whitesnake meets Sabbath, but like they're not talking about girls and cars. They're talking about, Satan and shit. But it has that production quality to it. And Cozy Powell drums on this record and a couple other records too. But anyways, it's an underappreciated era. This label went out of business and filed for bankruptcy. So a lot of this shit, the rights for this stuff is completely ass backwards. So this shit isn't even on streaming. If I want to listen to this, I listen to a YouTube rip of it. A really good HD rip of it, because there's fans of this era, and that's the only way, unless you own the CDs or own these copies, that's the only way. So I remember paying like $20, and it's just, you can get a VG Plus that's 100. That's actually a really good price. Like I'm tempted right now, 110. So yeah, but it hovers right around there at 100. If you want something like VG Plus, you get into near mint stuff, you're spending 150. You're getting, if you want to get into sealed stuff, you're in the 200 plus. So, yeah, that's definitely a big regret that I sold this off. Really cool record. Highly recommended if you've never dove into this era of Sabbath. Yeah, but apparently, Tony Iommi owns the rights again. So that's why all this shit is being worked on. Oh, that's sick. There's the hype sticker. I've never seen that. Mine didn't have it.
That's interesting. It has the fucking lineup on there too.
Yeah. That's fucking cool, dude. Yeah, mine just had the black bag. I remember that. Yeah. No inner sleeve, or it did have an inner sleeve, but then it had a black bag. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, Headless Cross. There's a big vinyl regret. We'll talk about that trip to Zia Camelback. That was the best trip ever.
First
time. So
You came away with two other things that off the top of my head are very money at this point in time. Two other things that.
Okay. I might talk about it later.
Okay. Was one of them the color of blue?
Color blue?
Do you not remember another one?
I forgot about that. Let me add it on the list. That helps. So there's actually 4 things that I came with that are worth real money now.
From that trip.
One that's like lesser amount, but is still like hard to find.
Yeah,
So we'll talk about it later. What's your next one?
All
or
right.
if you have anything to add to Headless Cross, go ahead.
No. That's the big one. I know that's what the conversation is always when we talk about Sabbath at this point is always just basically Tony just sitting on the tapes and they're ready to go and just kind of figuring out the right time to put them out and shit. Because I did see that also the remix for Forbidden we just talked about in the previous bit.
News.
Tony said that's done. He's just looking for the right time to put it out. So I don't know what that means. So whatever. Do your thing.
Whenever. It's done. The whenever is the right time.
Yeah, I don't know. We're looking for a certain anniversary or like.
What are you gonna fucking tour on it? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
No fucking idea. Not a fucking
Dear Lord.
All right. So another one that I have here. So one of my favorite bands of all time is a little band from LA, specifically from from Venice Beach, California. A little band from Venice called The Doors. So The Doors, in 2012, maybe 2011, they Analog Productions got the rights to the box set for The Doors called The Doors Infinite, is what the box is. So they did a CD, a super CD, and a vinyl reissue where they did an entirely new remaster, recuts, everything done to the nines, the best packaging in the world. There's actually a YouTube video of from Analog Productions where they actually go and they show you every bit of the box being built, whether it be the vinyl itself being mastered, the music, everything being on the tapes and everything, to the artwork, to the sleeves, to the box, to just absolutely fucking everything. So originally they were selling it for $350, $400. Okay. That's for all the Morrison records, not fucking fucking voices,
the shit you want.
Voices, all shit. Yeah. It's all shit you fucking want. So they originally was $350, $400, and now, and they still come into press or whatever the fuck every so often they get, a handful more. But now, yeah, look at that. It's going for $700 to $1,500 fucking dollars.
This 666. That's funny.
Shit, yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, you can buy these individually. They're about 55, 60 bones a piece. You can buy all the records. I have the LA Woman from this box set because it's my favorite Doors record. So that's the one I bought. I actually think I got that for a birthday present. But I just regret I saw it and I was like, that's fucking cool. I didn't have the money. I did have the money like 2 years ago when they came back. A handful of them came back. I don't know if they repressed them or whatever the fuck, but I did have the money a couple years ago and I was like, nah, I think if they're back, they'll go down. And they never fucking went down. They just went out of fucking press again. So I do want to get this at some point. I don't want to pay $2,000 for that.
For a sealed one?
For a sealed one, I don't want to fucking do that.
I mean, you could even an open one. This guy's got the deal, but this has some. This is VG, $600, $666.
LA One has a couple light scuffs on it. I have LA One already. I could just slip it out, right?
If you got a cool $666, if you got a cool number of the beast shipping,
free shipping over over $50, that works out. So these remasters are considered to be the best that you could possibly find. I don't know. Then maybe they just had a few another fucking crate
might have
or
been
some shit.
lying around.
Sure. Yeah, fuck me, man. But Mattress Mike in Groove, he even says these are the best that you're gonna fucking find. So at some point I might be able to come across it. Maybe if they do if they license it again and they do another pressing or run of it.
Here's a 2019 comment. It is $400 and still available in stores. Not no
shit, what
more.
source are you going to? Yeah, I think Mattress Mike actually has a copy of this. I think he has a CDs for sure, but I think he has a vinyl copy of this behind the
I guarantee.
gimmick. Yeah,
I
but
guarantee.
fucking
What's the
crazy.
CD?
CD is $230. It's still on there too right now. You can still actually buy the CD.
Okay, gotcha.
It's $230 or $240, I think it is, plus tax and shipping, whatever the fuck. But yeah, it's
here it is.
yeah. Click it. What's that going for?
$219.
Fuck.
That's open too. Oh, all of them sealed except the doors. Okay.
All right.
Jeez.
First record wasn't into it. Wasn't into it. Fuck the first record.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, fucking. I bought this fucking. I bought the QRC fucking CDs and the SA, whatever. I'm not into them anymore. That's funny.
Yeah. Fuck it. Just fucking crazy. If you're in the Doors, I would recommend that's the set to look for. If you ever come across it, and you have a little change in your pocket, a little wham, a little walk around money. Go ahead and do that. This is pretty good. So I can vouch for the LA Woman being the best. I have many copies of that, and that is definitely the fucking best it sounds for me. But yeah, I don't know, man. I kick myself, but again, that was way originally way more than I could ever spend on a fucking record in my life. So,
well, you're getting lots of records. What are you talking about? Census one.
No, I get it, but I'm just in a whole box, whatever the fuck,
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. I'm just being a dick. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is fun. You're actually showing shit I didn't know existed. I didn't know that shit
really
existed. So it's cool.
Yeah. Sucks.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go one I have talked about before, but I'm curious to look at the price of this because this got reissued, but not in this set. So one of my all-time favorite bands is Typo Negative. Their last album was Dead Again. Again, similar to Headless Cross, the label went under. The rights got crazy. Just last year, Nuclear Blast bought the rights to the album. Typo got them back, and then they sold them to Nuclear Blast. Nuclear Blast reissued it. You can buy it on vinyl, CD, tape, whatever. They're doing thousands of variants. So it's out there. But I saw this box set at Zia Records every time Tyler and I went for years.
For a while.
And I wasn't like a huge Typo fan. Typo's like the last probably like 2016 is when I really dove into Typo when I read the Peter Steele biography. It's when I really, really got into them. So, but I knew of them, and I should have been smart enough to know that this set was not not the $60 or worth more than the $60 or whatever that I saw it for, because I think we saw it on clearance a couple times. Like they were just trying to get rid of it. So this set is really cool. This is their last album. It's normally green, but the special edition is red. So you get a different variant cover. All the LPs are red. Yeah, Steamhammer SPV, that was the label. So very cool. You get a bonus DVD. All this stuff is available on other stuff now, which is nice. So there's nothing like crazy there. It came with a shirt, which is cool. So there's the whole set. So I'm actually, I haven't looked at this. I'm curious to see what the price did. No, so people still want 200 after the repress. So because the repress isn't exactly this. Yeah, there's absolutely no US listings either. So
you're paying ships.
So yeah. I want to say, Tyler, we saw this for like $60 or something, like on clearance one time, because it was there forever, and I think it was multiple Zias. So yeah, that sucks because I could have just had this instead of waiting for fucking whatever amount of years to get the repress, and then this would still be worth way more. So. It is what it is, but yeah, definitely a big vinyl regret because I saw it so often. So
absolutely fucking crazy. I remember that vaguely when we were doing that, and because you weren't really a fan of that point, I don't think you pointed out in that way. You just pointed out like, oh, Typo, whatever, right? And that's a crazy deal. I just hate when that happens, man. I hate when like you get into something after something has already gone. You're like, oh shit, I probably should just jumped on that when I was kind of into it. I didn't know what my taste was going to take me. A couple years later, I didn't know what I'd be fucking balls deep and hating myself, but here we are.
Yep.
Is what it is.
100%. Yeah, that came out in '08, and I want to say we saw it like '09, 10. So,
Oh
yeah.
eight.
What do you got for your next one?
Goddamn. All right. So I got a whole bunch here. So it's a whole lot.
Oh
So
shit.
whatever. I pull up some stuff. So we
Okay.
went to Steve's once. I don't remember this or not. We went to Steve's once. And so there was a Thrifty Joe's was the place. We call it Steve's though.
Yeah.
And Steve had a lot of Nine Inch Nails. Various singles, 12-inch
Ooh.
singles, fucking EPs and stuff, and whatever. So they were all pressed at about $15 or so, and there was like, I want to say probably like 7 or 8 like records, and plus there was a 12 rounds, which 12 rounds is Atticus Ross and his wife, I believe it was their band from the 90s that Trent
Oh,
produced their EP, and I believe that's how Trent Atticus originally met. But
interesting.
that was also there. So
Okay.
I remember seeing that, and it said Nothing Records on it. I didn't know who 12 Rounds was. I had no idea. I don't, and I still to this day, and it's not that I'm a huge fan or anything. I still to this day don't know shit. But I just remember seeing the Nothing Records logo on there, and at that point, I was like, "Oh, that's Trent stuff." So what the fuck? So there was obviously a big Nine Inch Nails fan that turned all this stuff in, and
It's their
kind of
second record
okay.
because it's
So
'98. Their first record was on Polydor in
okay,
'96.
there
My
you
Big
go.
Hero. Here, I'll pull it up here for you. My
Yeah.
Big Hero was the one on. Was it this one?
Yeah. So I'm not
Okay.
even finding the vinyl on here. So it might have been a single or their EP. I'm trying to bounce around. They have an EP that's
Yeah.
96.
Yeah. Discogs doesn't have the vinyl.
Yeah, it's
There's a
fucking crazy.
cassette.
Shit.
Maybe it was a
Um,
single or something that you saw.
it could have been a single. Oh, here it is. Did it? So
What's it called?
it was 12 rounds pleasant smell. And so that was also there. It's only actually going for $6 in 2017, and no other ones have actually been listed on here since then. So I would assume it's actually going for a lot more now. I don't know how much more, but a lot more
I
now.
would. Yeah, if you could find one. Yeah.
Yeah, so a whole lot of it, and I was
Is it
probably spending.
this
Yeah, it was.
12-inch single here? Okay.
Yeah, so $6, whatever. What's the other one actually? Because the other one actually has nothing on it. Huge. What's that one? The one that you just.
This. It just has
Yeah.
a hype sticker.
Oh, this one actually on here. This one's only fucking 50 cents. Whoa, look at that. It's only 50 cents.
Oh shit.
12-inch. All right. Shit, man. I might get into this.
There you go. We just solved the regret.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it says yeah, something featuring tracks, something by Nine Inch Nails, and I don't know.
yeah.
Can't read
So
it.
anyway, so a bunch of some of that. So there was a Nine Inch Nails. So Fixed was in there. Was the EP that was in there for Nine Inch Nails. So was Things Fall Apart was also in there. And then what else? I think there was Head Like a Hole. I think the 12-inch was in there too. I think Sin was also in there.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, a bunch of actually because it was on. I literally can tell you where on the earth I was or where it was. Yeah, I just remember fucking pulling this stuff back, and it was like anything like $10-15 a piece or some shit, and give or take. And now all of those are fucking upwards of $100 plus. And it bums me out because I can buy most of them online. Like I'm not really that concerned about it, but like I've never seen any of these again. I've never physically seen any of these.
So what was there?
Head Like a Hole, 12-inch single, Sin, 12-inch single, Fixed was there, Broken, I don't think was there at that point. There's a bunch of yeah. So
You think it was a US?
let's call it US. Yeah, it's fine. So 15,
Oh,
$20,
that's cool.
whatever. I didn't know that was a thing. Shit. Yeah. So 15, $20, whatever.
Okay.
But
There's still some available here.
Yeah, there's still some available. Look up
Yeah.
Fixed. Look up that one. That was the one that was right below it.
Sin
Fixed Blue.
or Fixed?
Right there. So look up Fixed. Look up vinyl for Fixed. She don't know. Okay.
Just UK shit.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one's that
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah, I was there.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was 15, $20, whatever, right?
Give me the
Just
slip mat too.
yeah, I don't think I had the slip mat. I just fucking there's a whole lot, and I was gonna spend 100,
So,
maybe no, probably under $100 for all of it, and now I just
so,
hate my life.
so it was a thing where you wanted to buy it all or none of it, because I know I've been there.
Sort of, but I don't think I don't think I had any disposable income. This is like 2010, maybe we just graduated. I think I was in the apartment, I think.
Okay.
So I didn't have any money because I didn't buy any of it.
Fuck. That
Um,
sucked.
and yeah, I didn't buy a piece. I didn't have any of it, so I didn't buy anything. And I remember thinking that for $100, that was a lot. I was like, "Fuck." So I did the math, and I don't think I cracked 100. I think it cracked like 90 or some shit, right? So I'm like, that's a lot of money. Like, whoa, man. I had my Discover card. I had my first ever credit card, and my Discover card had a $500 limit on it. I was like,
There you go, man.
I don't know, man. I don't want to put. They tell us not to put a lot of money on this and our percentages. What am I gonna do? And I did all that stuff, right? And it fucking bums me out that I didn't do that because I've never seen any of that stuff again. I guess I can buy a handful of stuff online, whatever. But I just hate that I didn't do it then, and it was a better opportunity. So
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I was there with you, man.
I don't know if I guess you weren't. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I was, but crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll go with another one here that I did talk about recently. Sort of in a roundabout way. So Typo, back to Typo here. They had a box set that came out in 2011, and that was called None More Negative. They did it for Record Store Day in 2011. And I remember this box set. I don't know if we saw it, but I remember it. But I wasn't even really looking for it because I remember this coming out. And again, I got really heavy into Typo like 2015, 2016. So this was like on my radar, like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I didn't even try to buy it. Like I didn't even look for it. Okay. So that sucked. And I want to say this thing retailed for maybe like $300, maybe 250. And yeah, it's just been crazy expensive ever since. It's a really cool set. I mean, I have basically all of this now, so it's not like a total regret. It'd just be cool to have all this shit for a long time. And I still need Life is Killing Me. So you get everything and you get different variants and shit. So it's a very cool set. I love that picture.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's, you can get not sealed minor dings. Guy went to 800 for it, plus 145 shipping. So like, it is what it is. Now, I got back into collecting here like 2020. Okay. So here's how fucking shitty my luck is. 2019 Run Out Groove says, hey, we're reissuing the None More Negative box set. All right. I was not back into collecting yet. All right. So I missed this by like that much. I want to say, and this was original pricing too. I want to say this was like 250, maybe $300. And I missed this one too. There's a little less cool box and you get some different variants, but still a cool set. And again, I have everything in here, but Life is Killing Me now. So it stings less. But yeah, 400 plus shipping, 429 plus shipping.
Would be fucking kick ass to have though.
Yeah, new. Missing Life is Killing Me. So it's not fucking new. What are you talking? That's the one thing people can't buy right now. So why is this even fucking listed?
Well,
you're trying to sell Life is Killing. Yeah, you're trying to sell that separately until they repress it this year. Yeah. Sealed copy for 450. So yeah, it just sucks. Like my timing just sucked both times. It's just like too early, and then I was too late getting back into the game. So and getting back into collecting. So yeah, that's definitely on the list.
That's fucking ridiculous. I mean, at least they're gonna repress that record, right? At least that's a thing.
Yeah. And then I'll be done.
Yeah. Well, until they found something else and they want you to buy that.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. All right. So my next one here. So I'm not even a big fan of this band. The first two records are cool, whatever, but I just happened upon some stuff, and I think Ty might remember this, whatever. So back in 2012, let's say, or give or take a little bit, Ty and I went to the original the original Gilbert Zia. Where was the one where we did? Where was the one? Was it Gilbert where we threw the Bring Me the Horizon CD in the kid's car?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, it's original Gilbert, Arizona location, and at that place, there's actually two things that I can talk about here for this, but I'll just talk about one. Whatever, I'll bring it to one for a minute. But there was a copy of Panic at the Disco, their second record, Pretty Odd. So that was 2008 is when that record came out. So there was there was a lot of hype behind at that point when the record came out because the first record was gangbusters. I actually have two Panic stories with this one, with this topic. But the first record, Fever You Can't Sweat Out, when it gangbusters, and this record was different, and some people didn't like it, and they kind of fell off, and other people loved it, and whatever. It was very different. So anyway, there was a massive box set that came with it. Yes. So we saw it there for 60 bones.
Was it still new?
It was new enough. It was not looking perfect. I'm not going to lie to you about that. It was not looking perfect, but it was looking pretty okay. I think one of the box things was ripped a little bit because it's a box. I think one of the things was torn up a little bit on one side of it. Like somebody, I don't know, did some weird shit. But it was there for $60 and did not purchase it. I don't guess I'm not a huge fan of the band or that record, but I was like, this is a cool set. It had all the gimmicks in there, has all fucking crazy fucking notes and lyric sheets and everything else.
Puzzle pieces.
Yeah, fucking just weirdo shit.
Oh, they have one in the Viva.
Oh, there you go. And up in San Francisco. And so for 60 bones, and I never saw the box again. So the box is fucked. That's out of my life. So whatever. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan, but it'd be cool to have that box with all the gimmicks in there. And now it's $200 plus for if you want to buy one. So for $660 now to $200, sucks I didn't buy it the first time, but it is what it is. And the other thing that I had for that trip was also there was a copy of December Underground by AFI that was there as well in the new arrivals. And that was $20 at that point. I already have December Underground. I already had it at that point too. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
December Underground is $300 to $300 plus at this point as well. So I already had a copy, so I didn't buy it. But looking back now, I'm like, shit, if I would have known anything, I could have also purchased that there as well and made a fucking killing at some point if I ever needed to, So another thing that kind of sucks, all the AFI stuff, until there's a 20-year anniversary, which we're never going to repress this record ever again. Then we're going to do it at the 20-year mark. So whatever the fuck, this and that. So yeah, same trip. So it didn't.
So they were both there together. So somebody probably turned those in together. Then.
Correct. Definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah, so both of those did not buy them. AFI, the December Underground was $20-$25 maybe, if that. And I actually even want to tell you, Ty, I even want to tell you that I think it was in cellophane and just ripped, and it was still sealed, technically. It was just ripped up a little bit. Yeah, now we're looking at $200 to $350.
So you do own a copy of this, but that
I do have a copy.
Okay.
That would have been extra, yeah. And that's why I didn't buy it. I was like, whatever. And I didn't know that AFI treated their vinyl as like a very big collector's item, but they did at the time, right? So I didn't think that was going to be out of press at any point in time. So it was a ripped cellophane copy for $20, and never did that. I want
this new seller looking for $800 for an open one.
Yeah, no dice.
What are you doing, dude? I can buy a sealed one right here for $500. What are you doing, bro? That's a little weird. Trying to reset the market there, right? All right.
Yeah, you're resetting. You're also trying to rip somebody off.
All right, let's keep this in the box set realm. Tyler might remember this one. I know he remembers it. Let me see if this will work. There we go. So there's a little band that you might have heard of called Slayer. They do thrash metal. You know, definitely an all timer for me. And they had a box set that came out, and I'm trying to do this on the fly. I'm trying to remember the year. I'm trying to find the box set. So,
2000 and
um,
10, 11, 12 maybe.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of the box set. The Vinyl Conflict. There it is.
Vinyl Conflict,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's add this in there. 2010.
Wow.
Is when the box set originally came out, but this thing eventually got repressed. Yeah, it was high quality, 180. You got everything. This is all the American stuff up to World Painted Blood. Now a lot of this stuff I have rebought, and actually the funny part about it is I individually bought these too, but I sold all these off. No. Luckily, we are getting represses. Like last time we did this, like 2 weeks ago when we talked about represses, or live albums, I think Decade of Aggression was money. Decade of Aggression just got repressed. Like they're doing them all again. Like I just bought one, so that's coming. So, but this set would just be killer to fucking have because I could have just had it all at once. The box is really cool. It's really cool set. So all right, let's see. Here. Yeah, it was 2010, and then they did it in 2015 again. I remember when they did it in 2015, and I didn't buy it again because I'm like, I already have everything. So let's look at the 2010 and see what we got. I don't think that's 70s. Let's go states here.
Only World Painted Blood. South Heaven.
South LP only $100. Why would you want that? Brand new, still sealed 666, still sealed 700, 750, 795. I don't know why you're trying to sell South of Heaven because you can just buy South of Heaven for $22 right now.
Yeah.
Like that same pressing. Anyways, let's look at the 2015 one. Yeah, because I remember this happening and I remember both being like, nah, I don't want it. So
box only for 200.
700, 700, 900. So crazy, right? And I want to say this is maybe like $300, maybe less. Originally. So
it was enough that we didn't buy it, right? So it was enough to not buy it, but fucking.
Well, yeah, and part of me is like I already own all these. I already own these particular pressings because they individually released them. So it wasn't like this box set was the only way to buy this shit. And luckily, all this shit's coming back into print. So this does have the Christ illusion with the original sleeve art, which is cool. I don't think the repressing does. I could be wrong on that.
Oh, but, good call. Yeah, you're right.
So that is cool. But yeah, Slayer Vinyl Conflict. And I don't think we ever saw that in person.
Actually. We saw it at Old Tempe.
Interesting. Okay. I don't remember that.
Because I remember having it in our hands and I was like, this is fucking crazy. And it was it's probably $200, right? Maybe less. I have no fucking idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, that's fucking crazy. And it was cool. We looked at it and we just put it back and then went along about our day and didn't buy it. So there you go. Fucking horrible.
Yep. What you got?
I had the exact same story. So back in 2010, Bad Religion came out with a 30th anniversary of the band box set. So it's just called Bad Religion box set, whatever, right? It's a copy of every record that they did. 15 LPs on red or clear red for the box set. And originally it came out, I think it was like maybe 250, 300 bones, I think it was, which is nothing. It's nothing to fucking, that's a good amount of money, right? The major thing that was like a big deal for this box, obviously getting everything at once is awesome, right? So yeah, the big thing is it's the first time since 1980, I think 82, 83 maybe, they came out with a record called Into the Unknown. It actually broke the band up. It's their new wave record, and it broke the band up. And so Into the Unknown has never been repressed. There's boots out there, but it's never actually been repressed. The band doesn't really acknowledge it or anything like that. and they've never
Right
repressed it. Even in there you go. They've never repressed, like right now they're doing represses for like the 30th anniversary, 40th anniversary, 35th, all that stuff, right? With every other fucking month, it seems like. But they've never done that for Into the Unknown. They still have yet to do that now. So this is the only place besides the original pressing that you can get that record. So now if you want to buy that box set, it is $900. 3,000 copies. Yeah. The first generator, it says too, which is, I didn't know that was true. 150.
That was,
I got it. That was
a
couple days ago. A month ago. Yeah. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's fucking next level shit. So just for I love Bad Religion, but just also for historical purposes, getting Into the Unknown, which I've listened to that before, fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous price. It's a cool set. I like the cool. I like the way the box opens and shit.
Yeah.
And I like how they have space so you can add records in.
Fucking perfect.
Like newer records. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's fucking expensive.
Yeah, now it's $1,000.
Do you think it's just expensive because of that record? Because like a lot of this shit's you can still buy, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I think people like the box concept, obviously too. But I think a little bit, or maybe 40% of it is because Into the Unknown, and it's not even because anybody likes that record. It's just because it's they don't talk about it. They don't acknowledge it. People, when they were coming at the box set, they asked because people assumed it was not going to be in the box set because the band does not acknowledge that. And like I said, it broke them up. So that the next record's called Back to the Known because that record broke them up. And people fucking quit the band because they're like, this is not the shit I signed up for. This is not the fucking band I want to be in. And then, so it just fucking insanity. And the fact that you also have Epitaph and Atlantic shit in there too. So there's two different labels that came across too that had to work together. So, it all came together and it worked out perfectly for the box set. So I think that kind of factors in a little bit, but yeah, just fucking crazy, man. $2,000 you want to buy it for that guy. Boom.
Alrighty. I'm going to go with one that can kind of go with both of us. And we did see these records at old Tempe Zia, my favorite Zia back in the day. Old Mill, dingy, old, tiny ass record store was the best experience before they started doing mega fucking stores. So Tyler and I would go there pretty much every Friday night, like religiously. This covers both of us. And actually, we just saw one of these last weekend. So we saw all three of the original Pantera records. So like the original records, pre-Cowboys from Hell. So we're talking glam Pantera, glam Terra. All right. Now, I don't know which pressing it was. I don't know if it was label variant, translucent, whatever. I don't think it was translucent.
No.
But I know it was 83. Okay. Because 08 they did the unofficial release. And I think somebody like just did these. No, they're still just unofficials. Never mind. Oh no, here's a 2020. No, that's unofficial. Never mind. I thought there was, but anyway, let's take a look at what this is. Metal Magic. So this is the first Pantera record. Okay. Keep in mind we saw all three. So let's go through all three of them. So we're starting at 271. 275 from the States. Now, Tyler, I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they were all like $40-$50.
I
want to say we could have bought all three of them. I want to say we could have bought all three of them for like less than that. So
yeah, I if I said it was 75, I'm gonna be lying to you. I would say maxing out at $75 for each, because I remember both of us like going to each other and looking at like, what the fuck, like this is crazy. And then like I remember talking about the pricing, and we were like, because we were both broke, so like we're like, that's a lot of money, fucking $75 for a fucking record like that, like whatever. And then we walked away. Yeah. So
this is Projects in the Jungle. This is their second record. Again, just boots. afterwards. So yeah, we saw. I know they weren't boots. So we saw an 84 pressing. Here we go, starting at 146. 149,
They weren't perfect,
219.
but they were pretty good.
They were good enough to buy to where if I saw them again for that price, I would buy them instantly. And then I'm almost positive too. We did see Power Metal, which is the first Phil record.
Yep.
And that one on LP again, 88, just boots afterwards, and 270. Yeah, that hurts, and that covers both of us. Yeah, here's U.S. sellers, 307. There's one for 500 with shrink. Absolutely insane. Look at him there. Yeah, I wish. That's a big regret, man. That's a big regret.
Yeah,
and it's kind of a hard regret because like we truly probably didn't have the money. And you're probably right; they were probably like $50-$75 a piece. But again, we could have bought all three of them, and for less than what one of them goes for now. That's cool.
100%.
Fan club.
Is dope shit. You're right into fucking. You're right into Diamond fucking and Vinny's dad at that point too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you had that on your list, and we actually just saw. I think we saw. What did we see? The second one or Metal Magic?
Second one. No, we saw the second one.
We saw the second one on Friday.
Go back.
Or Saturday.
Yeah, or Saturday. Yeah.
It was the second one.
300.
I'm most positive. Yeah, it was like $300. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we definitely were broke. We didn't have the money for that shit. Like the thing that was cool about old Tempe Zia though is for people that are not from here, and majority of you probably are not if you're watching this video. Aside from our friends and family, howdy,
shout out.
So Tempe is where ASU is, Arizona State University. It's our big university in town here. So. Our hypothesis and what makes sense to us, because we would find and see a lot of crazy weird shit there that most of which we've never seen again. Like 10, 15 years later, we've never seen this shit again. So like when we would go there, we'd see all kinds of crazy shit because what our hypotheses were that college kids that collected vinyl or were into music and shit like that, they bought it, they got broke, and they needed money, so they sold shit to Zia, which is right across the street from the campus. And that kind of just repeated itself. And so for years, we would go there every Friday and we would just find crazy, crazy shit. It's changed now. It's not the same vibe anymore now. Like, and they moved it, but you also don't get the same kind of fucking inventory anymore. And I don't know, like, I mean, maybe there's still kids like that there that collect crazy shit, possibly. But now we just get obviously a lot of used fucking bullshit, whatever, just normal stuff. So, we also saw, like, I was going to bring this up, but, we saw basically every Guns promo EP that ever existed. We saw there at one point or another. Wow, and they were all pretty money. They were all $100 and $150 plus. So like whatever, but without looking, I can guarantee you those are all $300, $400 now at this point. Yeah. So it's like, we saw that shit routinely there, and some stuff stayed there for a while. Because people weren't spending money on it, right? And eventually somebody bought it, whatever, right? But it's just crazy. We just see that shit all the fucking time, and now it's just we never see any of that shit anymore. And the fact that we saw the Pantera on Saturday, that's just next level crazy. We both were like, oh shit, like fuck, like this is legit. And we hadn't gone to that shop in fucking years. Yeah, 100%, absolutely. Yeah.
Might have been the same copy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, same fucking copy. Yeah, I don't know how many are fucking bouncing around here in Arizona, but who knows?
Yeah. Alrighty. Anything else you want to add here?
All right, I'll do one more here.
I got a few more. So
you got a few more? Okay. So something else that I've ran into over the years, I think both of us have at different points. Manson records. So we're neither of us are big Manson fans, right? Like we like the songs, whatever. We like the records, the songs you're supposed to like, whatever, right? But Manson records have never truly been out there, like, and to a mass audience ever. So they've gotten pressed, I think maybe 2 or 3 times ever. and they're all pretty rare. And we've seen them over the years, especially fucking 8-10 years ago. We saw them for $80 or less, $100 or less or whatever, right?
Yeah.
For represses, for originals, whatever. But now it's all
see this sometimes. This set,
the box, yeah, that's fair.
the box set
now with the shirt,
probably a lot. I mean, this is it. It's 09. Holy shit, that's so old.
Yeah, all right. So what's
holy shit? It was 150.
50. All right, not as much as I thought it would be. Shit.
It's still a good amount because you're right. You did see quite a bit of them.
Yeah, like it was not, like I said, it was not all the time, but you saw it a handful and a half times a year, and you just we never bought it. We never bought Mechanical Animals. We never bought Antichrist. Like we never bought that shit, and now it's an impossibility. And you find out later that for a lot of this shit, it's impossible to ever fucking buy it. Or ever for them to ever press it again, because the supposedly the tapes were destroyed with Katrina. So because Trent had the tapes. These are all produced by Trent.
I don't necessarily buy that though, because if you still have the plates, you can press it. You don't need to remix it.
Yeah. So that was a beef between Trent and Manson. Fuck me. $400.
This is a 2013. This is an original pressing. Wow. But yeah, we could have bought these. These are in stores.
Yeah. And like I said, we're not huge Manson fans, but it would be very cool to have the records. The records you're supposed to have.
Yeah. I'd probably buy like these 3 records for sure.
Yeah, that's all you got.
That we just went through.
Yeah.
I wonder if his newer shit is getting the same way because of all the shit that's going on with him.
So we still see. I've thought about that too. We still see some stuff sometimes.
His newer stuff, Jesus.
Yeah. 2 Hundies. There's Mechanical Animals at Zia, that new Zia Tempe, I believe. In there, I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, behind the register, I want to say.
Interesting,
but it's not. It's on par with those prices for sure.
Yeah, I wonder what. We still see this one. I've seen this one quite a bit. Let's see. This is 2017. So let's see here.
You can still buy it.
So let's just do this one, or let me do a black.
Do that first one.
Okay, this ain't bad. Okay, so you can still get this shit, but that's even that stuff might.
What's the
drying up.
What's that big the Eat Me Drink Me record? What's that? 07? Is that on vinyl? What's that?
07. I remember
think it's
this one.
The record for certain people.
Yeah, I said it's heart-shaped glasses. I remember that was a single.
Yeah.
2020, they did some pressings. Unofficial. Doesn't look like it's a bit of vital.
All right, interesting. What about the one, The Born Villain?
I want to say I've seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be 2012. Let's just do that. Here's a US. Let's do that one.
65.
Not hateful.
Yeah. These are not records I want to buy, but it's I think eventually stuff, because he got dropped. So like honestly, because we still do see that last record, the last 2 records, we still see.
I see this one now. I've seen this one too.
I have. Yeah,
I think I've seen this recently.
Yeah. We got tests. Wow.
Wait. Just give me this one. 50
bonds. Yeah. So if we see it again, like I don't know if you really want to buy it like that, because it's probably not going to come out again.
This song Deep Six is fucking cool as shit.
Oh yeah.
This song's really fun. It's like
I think you should
classic Manson.
Yeah.
I know nothing else on that record, but that is a cool track. Yeah, you're right. The Manson stuff. That's a good choice. It's definitely a good choice.
Crazy.
All right, I'll just do a quick twofer here. We'll kind of wrap it up. We'll tie it back into what Tyler was talking about earlier about that, and I was talking about the Zia Camelback when it opened up. They had a bunch of shit, and I bought the Headless Cross there. I also bought a first pressing of Empire from Queensryche there, which it's not like crazy money right now. I'm actually curious what it would be going for. Empire is 90, so you're getting into that weird period of vinyl. Now I don't totally regret this because they did 20-year anniversary pressings and shit, and I have those, which is fine. But I had an OG that was really fucking minty. Fucking minty. Oh, yeah, this sucks. And I didn't pay $108 for it. Yeah. So yeah, these are.
It comes in a big sleeve, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the repress does too. It's not a gatefold. Okay. There is a gatefold repress, but it's from like 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But it originally came like this with this small, like the thicker sleeve, and that's how they did the 20th anniversary press. Anyway, yeah, you can buy one for $170 in the US if you want. Yeah, I didn't think I paid like $30 or $40 for it. OG pressing. I also had OG pressings of Mindcrime, which is that's 88, so that's better. But I sold that off too, which sucks. I've later rebought it, so not the OG, but the repress. And I also found, I think, 1 or 2 hymn albums there.
You did.
My wife's air band. I know we bought those, and all that shit got sold too, because it was like, and we were just like, well, if you're not gonna do it, I don't need the shit anymore either.
Yeah.
It's not like I told her like you got to sell these or anything. It was just like, yeah, might as well. And all that shit is money. All the hymn shit is money. So that definitely sucks to sell that stuff. That's my wife's favorite band. We can kind of look at some stuff here.
Every time we see it, I always don't know like what, because I think you had Dark Light.
We had basically all this.
Yeah.
Because I bought her this. This is their last record. I bought her that. This shit is money. I want to say we had that. Maybe Dark Light. Maybe not Love Metal. I know we had Razorblade Romance. Greatest Love Songs. This one just got repressed, so I rebought her that. This one you can still kind of buy because it was that weirdo. It was with what's the fucking band? Bloodhound Gang or whatever.
Oh yeah,
like their fucking.
They ended up with a garage full of them.
Yeah. So you can still, I think you could still kind of. Zia had one here. 72. So not crazy. Like 130. So depending on the variant. But yeah, that's basically where you're starting, like $70, $80 and going up. So we didn't pay nearly that much for that stuff. So yeah, we definitely, I can't remember what we saw there, but I know we saw something. Maybe it was Darklight.
I believe you guys had Darklight. That's my only reference for any hymn shit. Like
we had
at
a
least
lot
for me. Yeah,
we had almost all of it. Looking back at it, this sucks. Yeah, 300. Yeah. So like rebuying this shit, it doesn't get repressed, which is weird. People hate money. This shit would sell. They still have a big cult following. It's women.
Oh, yeah.
It's girls. So they're gonna buy this shit. They're gonna buy all the variants. You see it all the time on YouTube. Like it's still the same audience.
I remember we were talking about this a few weeks ago. And I was like, yeah, the kids just still want it. And you're like, yeah, the kids of 30-year-old women. Yeah, they still want it.
Yeah.
The kids are no longer kids. It's all we're all adults now. Yeah.
And then we saw that. We saw the Empire. We saw the Headless Cross. Bought them all. Whatever hymn record. And then we saw a little band called Pink Floyd, and we saw Division Bell. And I love Division Bell. I picked CD. I don't know why I did that. It's one that's actually a really cool CD. I've never seen that. Did you look at that?
Weird. Yeah, it's weirdo.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I've never seen it before, but that's nards. That's money.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's 2,000 copies of that. That's money.
Yeah. So I love Division Bell. I think it's a really solid record. I like Momentary Lapse Reason too. And yeah, we saw an OG pressing of this there. I do have the repress, so I'm not like totally I don't have it on vinyl anymore. But yeah, it's on top. Yeah, the blue transparent. This is what I had. Yeah, did not spend $100 for it.
Only it's warped and fucked. Okay,
Yeah.
so you want to buy a good copy.
Here's a VG Plus for one. That's not even American. Intersleeve has some splitting, otherwise super nice. Yeah, 175. So you're spending $200. I think I spent
1994 vinyl.
Tyler, I think I spent less than $200 for all of that stuff I just mentioned.
Think you did.
That's how legitimately crazy that day was, and it was underpriced for back then.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that too, because we know that they juiced those boxes a lot because obviously it was literally the grand opening day, so they wanted as much cool shit as they could possibly have. And so they did juice it a bit, but regardless, the pricing on that stuff was still crazy. Like I remember we saw the Creed record there too. We saw a handful. I bought some Bruce promo shit there too that day. We saw a good handful and a half of shit that we didn't know existed or we've never seen before. Just because they had that shit there and it was the grand opening. Fucking A, man, just insanity. Yeah,
or I've never seen again.
Never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen a Division Bell again. At least the blue pressing. I've never seen that again ever. We see the hymn shit every so often still. I don't know if it's the exact stuff. We see the hymn shit kind of scattered about every so often.
Mike had a lot of it at once.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. So it's all money.
I think it was the cashier girl that turned it in.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a look at Mindcrime because I turned in. I think I bought Mindcrime there together too. 7.
Okay. Sheesh. That's probably for a fuck copy. Very good. Whatever you're grading that. Lovely overall copy.
Dear Lord.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's final regrets. Do you have anything else to add on, Tyler? Any other stories?
No, I mean, there's stuff that
so I had some overarching stuff. Basically any 80s hair metal records in cellophane with hype stickers. We see that shit all the fucking time. Really nice shit for $14 fucking and under. Routinely every fucking weekend. And we bought some of it. We didn't buy a lot of it, whatever, right? And now when you see that shit, it's all $35-$40 every single fucking time. And depending on what the band is, what the record is. But it's never fucking super cheap. So that kind of sucks. And we didn't buy everything back then because obviously we just thought it would be fucking, be forever, right? We didn't realize it was finite. I stopped buying Gaga picture discs at a certain point, and I don't even know which ones I don't have anymore. There's a handful and a half, and they're all $85-$90 plus at this point. The Bowie picture discs, I didn't start buying those soon enough. Bowie started doing picture discs in like 2010, 11 or so. I didn't buy them soon enough, and then all those ones are all $150-$200 now. So that's fucking crazy. And then last one I had on here, I had Jimmy World Static Prevails. We see that quite often, maybe every few weeks or so, the original cover, and we see it for $50 or so. And I eventually found a copy in cellophane with the 7-inch EP that came with it and everything too, so it all worked out. But I remember seeing that routinely for $40-$50, maybe even less than that. And now it's all $100, $150, $200 plus for that all day. So it's fucking crazy, that shit that I, if I would have fucking known that, I might have beefed up my fucking Stack Rails collection quite a bit and fucking just kind of gone from there. But I kept waiting for a better copy. I wanted a fucking a nice copy, and they were never nice enough. And then finally I found one in cellophane. And even the one I have is really actually, even in cellophane, it's actually not even that fucking pretty.
See, I've been less picky with stuff now because of that. If it's playable and looks like it will play nice, I'm good with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially if I'm not going to see it again. Like, depending on the band, like I bought a couple Exodus records and shit recently, and like the sleeves are pretty thrash, but the vinyl is nice. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. A couple other things to add here. Tyler and actually saw this one too Saturday as well. The Darkness, One Way Ticket to Hell and Back.
Shit.
This is their second album. I bought this at Zaya Thunderbird in like 09, 10 for like $20. Yeah, 2 for sale for $250. I don't even know. I can't remember what the Record High had it priced at. It was right around there. So yeah, outside of that just came to mind because I just saw it. Alice in Chains selling off the reunion stuff. All that stuff's money now. Really, any Alice in Chains turns into fucking money.
Never not buying fucking Unplugged. Not buying Unplugged. We fucking saw it for a good year and a half there. We never fucking bought it.
Yeah. I actually was just like, I need to pull the fucking trigger and buy one. Yeah, because it's let's look at it right now. And we'll wrap this bitch up here. You can get unofficial. Here's the last time they did it was 2010. There's a music on vinyl. This feels like higher. It's 200. This feels higher than what it was. Yeah, you can buy boots. It's not even the numbered one.
I remember we talked about that because we found a handful of the Alice in Chains stuff actually at Record High prior. Like when we used to go there, we went there somewhat routinely,
fairly regularly.
Yeah, and I remember we saw some of that shit there, and we didn't buy it because it was $45-$50 or whatever, right? And we just thought like, oh, that'll be there forever, whatever, right? Like it'll be always around in the stratosphere, and no dice. And it'll get repressed eventually, but just not now.
I want to add the store back into the rotation because we had a good time going back. They had a lot of good shit to look through, and we did buy some things. But add on to the regrets, he had the 2015 copies of Presto by Rush.
Yep.
I didn't buy that one because you can still buy that cheap, and you can buy originals for okay money. Yeah. And he had a 2015 copy of the Covers album Feedback, and I didn't buy those. So I'm probably going to regret it if they never, because they'll just continue to go up. But it's like I just didn't want to spend like the $200 immediately.
Your stack was already pretty healthy.
Yeah, so it's rough. It's rough, man. Last other thing, Oingo Boingo. I sold off all my Oingo, and now I'm trying to redo that. Luckily, there's a label repressing like a lot of it, so I have those pre-ordered. So all right. I'll be happy with that. And they're like regular normal prices. So, $30, $30, $35. They're not fucking $70, $50, whatever. Yeah, so that is less of a regret now, but it still sucks because I had nice OG copies of a lot of that shit and bought it for like $10, $15 because nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit. Nobody knew who that was. Danny. The only reason I knew about it because Dan introduced me to it. And I didn't even really know. Like, I didn't even know Danny Elfman was in the band when he introduced me to it. I just was like, oh, this sounds cool. And then I later found out. Now everybody fucking knows about it, and they know the Danny Elfman connection. So it's fucking severely collectible now. So, alrighty, guys. At the end of every episode, we choose a new topic, and Tyler chose vinyl regrets. So tonight is my choice, and I got a couple different options here. I'm going to go with favorite guitarists, favorite guitar players, and why. So maybe bring 5 to 10 guitar players that you enjoy and why. So like their riffing ability, their soloing, their tone, whatever. They're just songwriting in general. And why. Like what do you appreciate about them as players? So that's what we will do next week on the podcast, favorite guitar players. If you made it all the way to the end of this gargantuan episode, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below. What were some of your vinyl regrets? Do you have buyer's remorse on some shit? Did you miss out on some stuff like us? Did you sell some stuff off like me? So let us know down below. We'd appreciate any and all support. But anyways, guys, we'll see you next time on the Living Deadwax podcast. Peace.